Hello, Sonor family. Jules here, and it's Monday morning already, and that's a little bit of a lie because it's actually Sunday afternoon right now. I'm going to start doing my coffee with Jules in the afternoon prior to that morning. I'm bad about not waking up in time, and then Friday I was disheveled and half asleep, and anyway, not really the kind of content I want to put out. So going to be a little bit better prepared, do this a little ahead of time and try to have you something better to watch. Plus, if I plan things out a little better, I'll have better content as well as being put together a little better. So today I want to talk about reverb. My reverb items are still on sale. Uh, Things are ranging from 5% off to $450 off. So if there's anything that you have looked at that you like, I've got it on sale right now. Plus, I could do a little bit better if you contact me directly. Some people that don't know me might be hesitant to buy without the safety of reverb, and that's completely understandable. And for that reason, the higher reverb prices uh, may appeal to you because you have the security of I've got solid feedback, but you still don't know when you're dealing with somebody one on one. And you may feel like there's no safety net there if somehow your merchandise gets damaged, or if you happen to be that one unfortunate guy that gets taken. And so anyway, either way, better deal if you do direct. Still got a good deal on reverb right now. And then of course, at 6 o'clock this afternoon, I go back to the gouge prices. And I always think that way because when companies talk about their big sale, get it while it's a good value, so if you don't get it now, they're going to screw you later. That's how I always kind of interpret that. But anyway, had a real good interview with Dave Sanderson that came out Saturday morning, and all positive reviews on that. A lot of positive comments. Something about interviews. If it were up to me, I would have everybody a brand new interview with a top Sonar artist every week. Well, that's just not going to happen. These guys are too busy, and we'd run out of artists eventually unless I started recycling some back through. And you know, guys like Gavin and Todd and Tal, I think all those will warrant another interview down the road, for sure. And and maybe that'll happen. But the guys that are like local guys and all that, we're getting good feedback off of those too. So I am fully up for that. And you don't need to wait for me to ask you. I might not know to ask you. So if you've got a Sonar story that you think more than one person or is interested in hearing, let's have it. The worst that could happen, people don't like it, but I haven't had that happen yet. And if I ever had something that my gut feeling was this isn't going to go well, um, probably have a one-on-one conversation rather than embarrass somebody. I just can't imagine that happening. I mean, the thing about Sonar and the fact that like Jerry Pentecost said, it's not just a brand, it's a community. So I think that there's a core group of Sonar people that really want to hear somebody's story, even if it's somebody they don't know. Stories can be interesting regardless of who they come from. So if you've got a story to tell, I got somebody that wants to hear it. Just get in touch with me and let's get that lined up. I've got some projects I'm going to be working on here soon. I've got a Phil Rudd snare drum and uh, going to try it with all four hoops. And when I say all four, what I'm going to do is I've got the stock triple flange hoops that come on a lot of the snare drums, artist weight die cast, which is not the Hellas. They're I say generic, but I don't know that they are generic. I think they're unique to Sonar, even though they're more of a generic style and weight. Um, so I'm just going to call them artist type die cast hoops going forward to differentiate them from the extremely heavy Hellas. I love Hellas. There's a lot of guys that love Hellas. Some people can't stand them. Thank God we don't all like the same thing. There'd be only one thing out there and it would get really boring. Um, Also, going to try the S hoops. Now, the S hoops, the reason I'm going to experiment with those, even though they're not a Sonar product, They do come on the Gavin Harrison drums, and Gavin Harrison also uses those on his toms around the full drum set. So since they are an option on Sonor drums, very specific ones, I've got a set, and you know what? They're extremely affordable. Um, you can get a set of these for about the same price as one of a die cast. So we're going to try all that. And the plan is I'm going to try them in pairs. So, um, like for instance, I got two drums kind of all over the place here. Bear with me. I got two drums we're going to do this on. One is the Phil Rudd. The second is the compressor steel, 6.5 inch deep. And I got a story about that that I'm going to come back to in a minute. So, like on the Phil Rudd, it comes with the artist weight die cast tubes. So I will try them in pairs. We will put the triple flange pair. We'll have the artist grade or artist weight die cast hoops pair. We'll have the hella hoop pair, and we'll put the pair of S hoops on. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back and leaving the original hoop to the drum, which in this case would be the artist weight die cast, and then go try that batter with the three other um, options for the snare side head, and then just absolute opposite. We're going to leave the snare side head, the artist weight die cast, and then trade out the other batters. So we're kind of going a little bit. The thing is, I could sit here and try to come up with every conceivable combination. And you know what? It's going to get time consuming to do that because I want to have everything tuned up perfectly from sample to sample. I don't want any fluctuation whatsoever. So this is going to be very meticulous. I don't want 16 different combinations. We're already looking at several as it is. And it may be more than 16 if you really split them up like that. I'm not going to do the math right now. But then the other snare drum is going to be the compressor. And of course, it comes with the 2.3 millimeter triple flange hoops. So, in addition to trying the other ones in pairs, we'll do the same swap out. You'll have the triple flange on top and try it with the three other snare drums on the snare side and vice versa. Let me tell you what I've done. I feel like a real idiot, and rightly so. I took the Hellas and put them on the compressor, and at the same time, I put a dual glide throw off on the compressor. I've not got it to sound right. I was actually believing that I had choked this drum by putting the Hellas on there, and no matter what I did tuning wise, you know, tune the bottom head to around 390 to 400 hertz, somewhere in there. Seems to be a good all around tension for me personally. And then whatever you do with the top head, you can fatten it up, you can tighten, you can brighten it up, you know, ping it, whatever you want to do. Um, and I just could not make this thing work. So finally, this week, I brought it back home, put it back normal, put it back with the regular throw off on there. And then as I was working on another drum, it occurred to me that I had not threaded. There's a little bridge on the underside of the dual glide throw off and butt. A little bridge where you need to put if you're using little snare tape or snare cord or whatever you're using, it needs to go in that little bridge. That way it gives you the correct pitch angle so that you're getting good responsiveness. I start to say responsibility. I didn't get a lot of sleep, so bear with me. You get good response when you turn it on and off. Well, I did not do that, and so it was completely operator error. And that was one reason I never did my follow up video with that drum like that with the hella hoops, is because I was not enjoying it at all. So it was absolutely my mistake. And I've been playing the snare drum bone stock this week and absolutely loving it. So it's going to be a fun snare drum to do with the different hoops. So we're going to have the chrome over brass Phil Rudd, which is an out of production drum. It just so happens I've got one. I've replaced all the parts. Everything on it has been replaced. Only the shell and the badges and the rods are original. And the hoops will be changed out. So it being out of production, it's a little bit passe, I guess. So when we do the compressor, that's going to give us a current production drum, and we'll get to see the results of that. And then as time progresses, we're going to do other snare drums too. Right now, things are kind of fluid. Everything I've got is for sale. So there's no, I'm not going to predict that I'm going to have one of the designers around to try that on, which the designers have gone the way of the dinosaur too. Very close to the SQ2s, but there are some differences. Would it matter doing a test like this? No, probably not at all. But I try to favor current production stuff on my channel. So moving this thing along now. Um, Big shout out to Frank Godiva. He's been a big help getting information onto the forum. If you're not a member of the forum, please sign up. Even if you're never going to come back, sign up because I think you will come back. And working to try to recruit some key people to come in there that have really got some uh, something to bring to the table, so that the guys that don't really contribute a whole lot give you some stuff to come back and read. Uh, really would like to get as much information out of everybody as possible, even if you don't do anything more than go in there and go to the area where you post your pictures of your gear and talk about your gear. And we're all interested to see what each other's got. So don't be shy about posting in there. And if you've got anything where you disagree with somebody, post it. We're going to be respectful, but everybody's got their own opinion. And I say it again, if we all believe the same exact thing and had the same exact likes and dislikes, it'd be a very boring world. Just whatever we do, we're going to do it, in a respectful way. And I don't foresee that being an issue. Everything's been extremely positive so far. We're just over a month in. I really like to build up the membership, even if it's people that just come lurk around and never contribute. And tell your friends about it. If you've got Sonar guys that haven't found it yet, it's still very much in its infancy. The information there is nothing compared to what it's going to be by the end of the year. And we would really like your help ramping that up. And you can ask questions. One thing that is a huge benefit of this over, say, my Facebook Drum and Stage Facebook page is that it's all structured. So there is a spot for everything. So if there is a piece of information you're looking for, there's a place you should find it if we have it yet. And if not, ask a question, let somebody come in there and answer it for you. And so, whereas on my Facebook page, it's kind of in a chronological order, to some degree, and you got to go back. And if you wanted to look at a certain piece of thing about a certain piece of gear, it may not even be there. And that's on any Facebook page. You'd have to go ask a whole new question. And, sometimes that's met with the attitude of, well, we get asked that every other week. Why don't you just look down and read the answers first? Uh, so we're offering a structured forum for these questions and information, and I think you'll enjoy it very much. And anyway, I think that's going to about wrap it up for me today. And just be on the lookout for new content. Looking for more people to do interviews. I've got one I'm supposed to firm up in the next day or two on a time and day to get that going. We're on different continents, so a little bit of a time gap there, but we're going to work around that. And if you have any suggestions, I'm always open to suggestions and ideas. No reason to be shy. I don't know everything. I don't even think I know everything. And I'm always interested in learning something new or seeing a different perspective. And if you would like to shed some light on anything for me, please do. Drumandstage@gmail.com. And look forward to talking to you soon.